I feel like I just slid into home plate right now. I feel like the last several days have been so go, 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 like one thing after another, that I'm just going from task to task. And I was sitting here freaking out that I was not going to get here in time, that I was not going to be able to log in on time. So I feel like I literally just barely slid into home base, like barely made it. But I'm happy I'm here. So let's do a check-in, see who is here. I'm gonna take a sip of water, kind of move into this space and away from all the other things I've been doing all day. Good things, but still. David, you're first. Might have some piano music in the background too. Erin is playing piano right now. Tyler, hello. Already with the special guest.
You already have the special guest.
Oh, my star thing is orange. Your star changed colors, David. This is little Aurora and Bryson. Bryson's starting high school tomorrow, and Mommy's trying really hard not to lose it and freak out. Hello, other David. We have 2 Davids in here and a Brooke. Don't let her little head fall.
She's looking down right
Come
now.
here. Come to the. Oh.
Nope, she just made bubbles.
She likes to make bubbles. Hi, Gavin. Hi, Andy. How is everybody? Right? She looks so much different already. Just in the first couple of months, she already looks so different. She's been on this kick of trying to eat her hand and trying to fit her whole hand in her mouth.
My little brother's name is
Doom
Gavin.
Gamer. Yeah. He has a brother and sister at his dad's house, and his little brother's name is Gavin. Look, she's looking at herself. She sees herself. Oh, Gavin from the UK. Tyler says, here's a joke of the day. What happens to the frogs who parked illegally? I don't know. I like frog jokes.
School in July.
Oh, Green Day. Here we have 2 different options, and he's in the option where you get a shorter summer for longer breaks. So he gets longer spring break and winter break and stuff. They get towed off. That's funny. Here. Thank you for coming by to visit us, guys.
Wait, I'm staying here for a minute.
So anybody that is new, I just want to let you know that any advice, any insight that I give is based on my personal experiences and, of course, my psych degree, but I am not a licensed therapist. So if you are needing help, please make sure that you're reaching out and you're getting the help that you deserve. With that being said, we do have a goal here to raise $250. Can you? I'm afraid that's picking up. She's making little
Grunge.
Yeah, I'm afraid she's gonna poop and it's gonna pick up the camera. Thank you. You can come back in a little bit. So we do have a goal to raise $250 here in the stream, and you can make a donation by using the super chat or super sticker function, or by using PayPal or Venmo, which is in the descriptions of these live streams. And all of that goes to the mental health outreach. So I was so happy that we made our goal last week, because there were 5 different people that had reached out to me, and I was able to get them all started in therapy. I'm obviously not able to help everyone that reaches out, but we like to help out as many people as we can, and that's the sort of thing pledges go to. And I actually wanted to read an email I got from one of them. Well, it wasn't one of the ones from this previous batch, but it's one of the things I like to do is help people get into therapy, and not always traditional therapy. Sometimes they want to do traditional therapy. Sometimes they're more drawn toward art therapy or equine therapy or something like that. This particular one was trauma therapy, if I remember correctly. So I wanted to share this email I got, because this is the kind of thing we're doing. And it just, I was crying. I was crying when I read this. So this one says, hey, Amanda, I just wanted to say thank you again for helping cover the cost of my therapy. I don't think I can fully put into words how much it's meant to me. I've started to unpack things I buried for years, and for the first time in a long time, I actually feel hopeful. Your support gave me a chance I didn't think I'd ever get. I'm so grateful, not just for the financial help, but for believing I was worth it when I didn't. Thank you for that. With love. And I don't want to say that person's name, but with love, that person's name. That is what we're doing. That is what we do here in the community. So that is why I set a goal each stream to be able to raise money so that we can do different things. We've done more individualized stuff, like helping veterans achieve their dream, helping widows, like helping homeless individuals, just really whatever whatever I can do. And like I said, I can't help everyone, but this is what I could do this last 2 weeks was help get people into therapy. So I'm going to open here. So if you do make a bigger pledge, I highly suggest doing so through Venmo or Zelle, because then it doesn't take the fee, and PayPal takes a small fee. If you send it through friends and family, it does not. So PayPal, Zelle, or Venmo are great. Thank you, Rev J, for getting us started. What did I just knock off of? For getting us started. I think we're going to hit it. So here, we've already got a $10 pledge, a $10 donation. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, I'm already falling so far behind. The other awesome thing about the super chat, super sticker function is it will highlight the message like this, because I might not always see things. It gets crazy and I might not always see the message. So that's just a little bit of housekeeping up front. But this stream is just so we can share our wins, share our challenges, like where we've been. I know I said last time that I was going to be doing a postpartum vlog. I promise it's coming, because that has been a wild part of my mental health journey. Crazy wild part of my mental health journey. I really need to talk about it. I need to get it out. So be expecting that. I have a couple of videos they'll be releasing this week. So I'm hoping that one will be early in August. But as you guys know, if you have watched my video that I released today for One More Light, I filmed that this morning because I've been so far behind, and I put that off for the last few years, and it feels good to finally have done that, because that song, as you could see, means so much to me, and I'm glad that I finally did it. It was hard. That's the least I think I've ever cried during that song, so that was kind of shocking, but I was still emotional. Today is the anniversary of Chester's passing, and Chris Cornell had passed, of course, a couple months before Chester did. So I do want to take the space here to kind of share what their music specifically has meant to some of us. So if you know my story, you know that when I was a teenager, when I was 16, I was introduced to Linkin Park. My mom, bless her heart, I think my mom thought that it was a boy band because it was like a group of guys, right? I think my mom thought that Linkin Park was a boy band, and that's why she had initially got Hybrid Theory for me. But it really just, it gave me a safe place to go when I didn't have one, because I was being bullied, I was being ostracized, I didn't have a safe place to go, and Hybrid Theory felt very safe to me. And the music really helped me through a lot of traumatic things, a lot of traumatic moments. So it was really, I could say I could write a book, but working on it. But it was just so, every moment, it seemed like every single moment, every single difficult time in my life, there was a Linkin Park song for that. There were Linkin Park lyrics that helped me through that. For example, when my mom passed away, I remember sitting in the hospital room. I was down in the ER because they admitted me because they didn't think that I was safe. So they put me in the ER, and then subsequently into a facility. They tried to make it a 3-day hold, but I fought that. But I remember sitting there singing Leave Out All the Rest to myself for days. So I'm curious what moments, either Linkin Park or Chris and his music. Oh my God, I just forgot what band Chris is in. Please forgive me, guys. Please forgive me for this. Chris was not a musician I really resonated to. So I'm gonna feel so awful, and you guys are gonna be understanding. I know you will, but whatever songs from either of them that meant a lot to you, can you share here in the comments, like in the chat, what those moments were, like what moments they really helped you through, and I'll try and read some of those. Thank you, Viking Blood. Whew, I've already fallen so far behind here. Let's see. Hello, Amanda. I'm really scared to share the video. I just filed for divorce. How I feel vlog to one of my facilitators for the ZYLF convention. Her name's Oakley Pretty. Oh, my vlog of filing for divorce. Are you just feeling anxious about how they'll receive it? I think that let me say that the reason I share these kinds of things is because I think it's very important for it to be normalized. That's why I want to share the postpartum vlog. And I know it'll be a little bit late because right now she's about 2.5 months old, but postpartum does not last. And in many cases, like the weeks after birth, it keeps going and going and going. It can last up to a year. It can go past that, but usually it can last anywhere up to a year. So I guess I've been kind of hard on myself for falling behind on my goals for filming, but I would say the 3-month mark is will be pretty good actually to get kind of a fuller picture of what's been going on and be able to share that. So maybe that will really work out well. But I do share these things because I just want to normalize them and I want people to know they're not alone. And let's be real, a lot of people filed for divorce. Last I looked, the divorce rate was at like 50-something%. So being able to see, oh, someone else is struggling. This isn't something that I'm supposed to just put on a smile and be okay with, even if I know it's the right thing. It's okay to feel. Like I said in the One More Light video, obviously that's talking about grief as in losing someone, but when we get divorced, we're still losing someone. We're losing a part of ourselves. We're losing a part of our identity. So we're still processing a loss, and that still merits going through the stages of grief. So it's completely okay to feel those different feelings. David says, are you down to just 5 states for your books? Oh, thank you for noticing. So this, yes and no. So I do Poshmark and Pango, and this also helps raise money for the community. So Poshmark is a resale, mostly clothes, some essential oils, things like that. And then Pango is books, and I have some mental health books and stuff on there, but also fantasy and romance and stuff. So I made this little map. It makes me really happy, this little map to show where I've shipped to. So the pink is just Pango. So I've made a sale on Pango, which is the books. The purple is Poshmark, and then blue is both. So any state that is blue, I have shipped both to. So yes, I need these top states. What is it with the top states? The top states are letting me down here. The Wisconsin, Idaho, so South Dakota. So yeah, those are the states that I need. Alaska, I guess. Well, Alaska's still technically toward the top. So yeah, those are the states I need. This is a really huge passion of mine lately, actually. It's brought me a lot of joy. I really enjoy doing the reselling. It's honestly kind of kept me sane during postpartum, especially because of our job losses. We are kind of having to get by in any way we can, and that is one of the things that helps me. It does help the community too, but it helps me personally. David's this passion, your books are more obsession. I currently have over 600 books on my Pango, so definitely variety. I'd really appreciate if you check it out. I always throw in extra goodies and stuff to make sure that everybody feels special. You get a little handwritten note and everything. So yes, it makes me happy. It's my happy place right now. The resale is my happy place. This whole closet, I hate trying to do this whole closet right now is Poshmark stuff, and then half my garage is books on bookshelves, and I don't know if you guys can see. Oh, I have other stuff there. I have all of my more special books for the shop up here. So all of the higher end books and stuff, the ones with the etched edges. I love those. Those are my favorite. They have the really pretty like dragon edges and stuff. I like those. No, I didn't write 600 books. No, I do resell and stuff. So I have 600 books in my bookshop, in my Pango bookshop. And the link to that is in the description of, will be in the description of this, but it's also in the description of the last live stream. Kelsey says, Linkin Park Shadow of the Day. I love the whole song, but the line, the sun will set for you, always resonates with me as someone who fantasizes about the ultimate and final moment of relief. I remember that song. That song was really meaningful to me through several events during my 20s for that very same reason, that it expressed finality, and that's where I was in my head of just wanting things to be over, or things were ending that I wasn't quite coming to terms with. So yeah, it does have a very big sense of finality. Thank you, Sam. Thank you so much. We're at 30 and we're only 14 minutes in. We're doing good. Thank you. But yeah, it does have a sense of finality. That's my favorite Linkin Park songs, actually. And watching that, the scary thing about that is watching that video. I remember having a friend that came over one time and he goes, "Why are you watching the news? You never watch the news." I said, "That's not the news. That's Chester, that's Lincoln Park." And he was just, "Oh." And it seemed like what's been going on. David says, "My Lincoln Park song is Numb, but my biggest mental care blanket is Mudvayne and Death Blooms." Yeah, Numb is a big one too, because you get to that point where it's just, I can't even feel hurt anymore. I can't feel anything at all. And sometimes that's where self-harm comes from, is that desperation to feel literally anything. Ooh, Doom Gamer says, "My favorite Linkin Park song is The Catalyst. It just speaks to me." That's one that gets forgotten a lot. Yeah, I like that one. "Love your nails. You're really pulling off the green. That's pretty special." Thank you. I actually really like these. Look, they change color and I love them. So thank you for noticing. Yeah. This was my little treat to myself a couple days ago. I had a gift card, so that was my little treat. Linkin Park has so many great songs. It's really hard to pick just one. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, Steven says, "Hi Amanda, how are you doing today?" Oh, I just missed that. Sorry. I'm gonna put this down here. I have a dumb question. How do you know if you're really making good progress in therapy? I started to say there's no such thing as a dumb question, but I have definitely heard some that make me question. So I think it's a difficult question because I think it's different for everyone. But I think not even just with therapy, but in my healing, my thing was when I started getting up in the morning and I didn't dread the day so much. I still dreaded it, but I didn't dread it quite as much. And I started looking at it more as an adventure. I started looking at it as, okay, well, now I have some tools that I can face the day with. So even though the day might be really challenging, even though these things might come up, at least I have the tools now. So I had that confidence. I could hear the shift in my inner voice. My shadow was shifting a little bit. So while things weren't all happy at that time, while I wasn't necessarily happy, I at least felt empowered. I at least felt my inner voices shifting. That was my indicator. But I think when you can see, you know what, this might be difficult. I might still have all the same challenges, but I know now that I have the power to sort through them, the power to manage them, to deal with them. I think that's when you start seeing that therapy works, because all therapy really does is gives you the tools. It can't take away your trauma. It can't make things less stressful, but it gives you the tools to cope with it. So when you start feeling more confident that you can cope, I think that's a good indicator that therapy is working. Kelsey says, "Would you ever react to Heavy by Linkin Park?" I think that's going to be the one I do next year, like 1 year from today. That's probably going to be the one I'm going to do for the anniversary next year. A couple years ago, I did Crawling, and I kind of want to keep to that and keep doing Linkin Park reactions on the anniversary. But yeah, Heavy is one that really, really gets to me. I'll just say that. Heavy and One More Light are the two that really hit me the hardest. So yes, I do have plans to do Heavy, but it probably won't be for a little while. No, I'm not from LA. I grew up in Missouri, and right now I'm in Arizona. I do plan to do more Amity Affliction. Yes. Affliction. Amity Affliction. I do want to read our good news story too, so I will give some opportunity for some pledges and stuff to come in. I'm going to read our good news story. So every week, I just like to read a good news story just so we can kind of shift our energy a little bit. Keep sharing your Linkin Park and your Chris Cornell memories here, how they helped you, specific moments, and I will keep reading those as I can. Like I said, if you want to make sure that I see them, use the super chat or super sticker function. But, oh, it closed itself. There we go. Okay. Community choir that uses music, I thought you guys would love this, to help people with memory loss prepares for upcoming concert. So this was in April, so I don't know when this concert was, but a local community choir that uses music to help people with memory loss rediscover who they are and make lifelong friends is preparing for its spring concert. Volunteers with Stand in the Light, More Light, I love that, Memory Choir shared how breaking out in song brings a whole new meaning to people's lives. The choir uses the power of music to heal. Singing is one of the things maintained in the brain that people remember those lyrics and melodies. Lynn Weber, the board of directors president, said, the Stand in the Light Memory Choir has nearly 80 members, all of whom love to sing and have a connection to memory loss, whether through the choir or from loved ones. I have a family member with dementia, so I have always had a soft spot for people with memory loss, Weber shared. Don Weeble, a Stand in the Light Memory Choir volunteer, also shares his experience with memory loss. My father had dementia, I had a brother with dementia, and a sister with dementia, and so that's always been a part of my life. Don joined the choir with his wife, Carolyn, who is also a volunteer. They've been married for 50 years and wanted another activity they could enjoy together. Singing has always been part of my life, and I came to a concert, and I just knew I wanted to be part of this group, Carolyn said. It's very calming to me, and I feel like I'm doing something worthwhile, Don added. Carolyn and Don are singing partners for those with memory loss and help guide them through rehearsals and performances. She doesn't always know the songs, but she feels the rhythm, and when she gets involved, it's like seeing part of who she was, not who she is now, Carolyn shared. The love for singing brings them together, creating new memories even as other ones fade. I have one song that speaks to me, and it's the song I Will Carry the Light. I think there's a theme going on here today. And I get teary-eyed just thinking about it, Carolyn said. That's my favorite also because it says so much that people with dementia can still shine, Dawn added. Okay, this was April 10th. So unfortunately the concert's over, but I still think that that's just an amazing story, that it's just another creative way, to help people who might be struggling. And dementia is insidious. It's awful to see people going through that. So I think that that's really awesome that it's just another way to use music to help bring people together, to help people heal, to help people find themselves. What do you guys think? Oh, Timothy Potts says, was a drug addict for 4 years, meth and fent, quit cold turkey in 2023, been sober since. I'm going to give snaps because that's amazing and I'm super proud of you. I just want to say to others that fentanyl is one, that it can be very dangerous to cold turkey. So make sure that if that is the route you go, that you're doing so under the supervision of a medical professional. But I'm so proud of you. That's amazing. Like 2 years, well, depending on when it was in 2023, but 2 years, that's amazing. Those two are really hard to quit. So snaps to you. I know we haven't done the snap cup yet, but snaps to you. Preliminary snaps. I have like a hair on my back and it's driving me nuts. Fent was a monster, almost 2 weeks of withdrawal. Yeah, I've heard it's really bad. I had a friend that did it and it was really bad. I had some so I did that parenting vlog the other day, and I had someone comment and say, your hair is so uneven. I'm like, what? I think it's because my hair was kind of like this or something, so it was partially over my shoulder, and somebody commented and said, your hair's uneven. And I'm thinking, man, Amanda, even 8-9 years ago, would have been so insecure and would have freaked out and went to the salon immediately, but I just wanted to do you not understand that when your hair falls over your shoulders, it's not going to be perfectly even unless you style it as so? I just thought that was hilarious. But it was also a sign of growth, because there was a time when that would have just ended me, this person on the internet talking crap would have just ended me. All right. We're about 23 minutes. So we're $30 towards our $250 goal. I'm going to do our snap cup. So a few days before our streams here, I will post over in the community tab so individuals can share their wins, or you can share wins of other people you might know in the community, and then I will read them here. It's inspired off Legally Blonde 2, where Elle has her own snap cup, and it's just a way of sharing warm fuzzies. And it comes with her song. So snap cup time, gather ye round. Friends and foes together, united and bound. Pass it to your neighbor instead of blowing up, and you'll find harmony and love in a snap cup. So I have a couple that I want to share that aren't in here before I start diving into these. Number one, my son, I'm so proud of him for this. There was a movie that was at one time a favorite movie of his. And something very traumatic happened during that movie with someone, and it just completely ruined it. And as far as I know, he hadn't watched it again since. He was very ambivalent about watching it again, but finally he said, I'm ready. I want to watch it. I want to, overwrite that trauma. He wants to rewrite the stars, so to speak. And so he did. He said, okay, I'm ready to do this. Can we do this as a family? And we all sat down, me and him and Aurora and Aaron all sat down and helped him rewrite that moment, rewrite that trauma and turn it into something more beautiful and more supportive. And I just wanted to give Bryson snaps, who was just in here a few minutes ago, give Bryson snaps for that, because I know how hard it can be to face those uncomfortable memories, those traumas, and rewrite it. I did a vlog where I went to the place I was sexually assaulted. I've done ones where I'm listening to songs to kind of rewrite them, to just try to make a better memory out of it, to fight back against the shadow, fight back against the trauma. One day, and I want you guys to hold me to this, by the way, one day I really, really, really want to do that. Chop Suey by System of a Down, because that song will drop me to my knees in public. I cannot hear that song. And one day I just want us all to come together and do that one. But for Bryson, that was his win for the week, and I was very, very proud of him. So snaps for Bryson. I also wanted to give snaps to Aaron, because Aaron has been trying to help Bryson with dive. Bryson wants to be on the dive team, so he's going to be trying out. And Aaron's trying to help him prepare. Aaron was on dive in high school. Obviously, that's been a while, but he had a goal. I think it was a double front flip. I'm not completely familiar with all the dive terms and stuff. Aaron, are you in here? You are in here. Okay. It was a double front flip, right? That he had wanted to do a double front flip. He couldn't even do that when he was on the dive team in high school and everything. And he'd been practicing and he'd been building himself up to overcome that anxiety and everything. And this week I got a video while him and Bryson were at the pool where he did that. And it was really hot. But I'm really proud of him. It was really amazing. So the double backflip. I knew it was double. I had it half right. But double backflip. So proud of you. So snaps to Aaron for being able to do that. And then David Gaps had said that he had got to garden for the first time in 3 months, because he'd had a series of surgeries and he wasn't able to garden. So he was able to do that for the first time in 3 months since his surgeries, which I know how important that is, because his garden is beautiful. I'd love to share some photos, by the way, David. If you guys would like to see photos over in the community, I'd be happy to share those on David's behalf. He's an amazing gardener. And I think that's really awesome that you got to go back to your passion and find that happy place. So snaps to David. So lots of snaps, and then we will continue jumping in here. See what else we have. You did get snaps, Aaron. You definitely got snaps. Matthew Garrison says, surviving 52 years with only self-introspection and a few decades of self-medication, that I managed to escape and thrive after hitting rock bottom. Currently a single father of two, both with issues of their own, that I'm able to quickly identify and suggest non-pharmaceutical solutions to. I'm so happy that you're still here, that you made it this far through all of that, that you did escape, that you hit rock bottom. Unfortunately, a lot of the times we have to hit rock bottom in order to start climbing, right? Unfortunately, that is the truth, that a lot of times we have to hit rock bottom before we just say, you know what, I'm not doing this anymore. I need to find a solution. So I'm proud of you for that. And I love that you bring that up with the kids, because if we haven't struggled, if our kids struggle, it can be very hard for us to see how to help. But if we've been in that darkness, then we can hold the light for someone else, oftentimes our kids or our friends, to make sure that they can find solutions, that we can help them build their toolbox. So snaps for that. Frankie says, first time watching your live stream. When did you decide to start your channel? I think it was, 2021? But in the beginning, I was just doing some celebrity interviews. I was doing other stuff. I think it was it 2021 or 2022? It was 2021 when I started when I started doing the reactions and stuff, I just thought, you know what, music is so huge to me and it's really a part of my mental health journey that maybe I can, share that with people, but then also see what has helped them, like what music's helped them. So that's kind of what inspired it, was just trying to reflect and think of how can I share my story in a way that engages with people, that makes it kind of, I don't want to say fun, but at least makes it more palpable, right? Oh gosh, okay, we have 2 other pledges. Where'd my pin go? 2 other pledges. Let me... 50 from Ryan. Thank you so much. And then 25 from Jason. Thank you guys so much for helping us get closer to our goal, able to help more people here in the community. So thank you very much. When will the Amanda B&B reaction channel start? Save Liam David. Don't even get me started on Liam right now, because then I'm gonna forget all about the Snap Cup while I'm freaking out over whether or not Liam's gonna live on my soap opera. Agreed, Spencer, which is funny because Liam's last name is Spencer. Tim Parker says, when I'm struggling, I find that helping others does me a world of good. That is why I'm here. That's why we're here in this live stream right now, is because I agree with you. Snaps to you. I'd love to hear some of the different things that you've done, or the things that you are passionate about. That I was really sad when I had to take time off, even though it was for a good reason. I wasn't completely sad, obviously, for the reason. I was very happy for the reason. But it was really hard for me because I kind of live to serve. I find joy in that. I find happiness in that. We actually have the round table from first night as our dining room table, and it says, in serving each other we become free. And I really believe that. I know that they say, put on your oxygen mask before helping other people. And that's true. We do have to make sure that we're taken care of. But sometimes when we are in that dark place, it makes us feel useful. It makes us feel like, okay, I can make a difference. I have a purpose. So helping other people can in turn help ourselves. So I love that. Spencer says, I'll be all right. Just been homesick like hell. Been wanting to get out of Southern Iowa for a while now. I hope you can find a way. I understand what that's like to just feel like you don't belong. Arizona is really rough for me too. I'm stuck here for a little while longer. So hope you're not stuck for too long. Jake Smith says, I got a brand new car on Saturday. My old Mitsubishi had no brakes on it. Eek. And driving it became a bit of a scare. I imagine that just sounds like it would be a nightmare waiting to happen, like a final destination moment waiting to happen. This Jeep that I got was a bit older, 2014 to be exact, but works perfectly. I always prefer to get a car that's at least a little bit older. So I love that for you. I'm very happy for you that you were able to get that and take care of that for yourself. So big snaps to you. David had said gardening is my mental health therapy. Exactly. Firefighter 1026 wife says, I've been getting cyber harassed and falsely accused of a crime by some YouTubers and their fans, all because I stood up for a friend. This has been going on for nearly a year now. I'm so sorry. That sounds really stressful. I stopped talking, stopped trying to prove myself to these people because I realized, 1, they won't accept the truth anyway. 2, they want to listen to react. Yes. 3, they've already made up their minds about me. And 4, people love drama. These are all excellent points. I deleted the YouTube account associated with the negativity and entered my quiet era. Oh man, the quiet era is so healing. People are still talking about me and accusing me of things I didn't do, but it doesn't bother me like before. I gather up as evidence and keep reporting them. They're having tough times in their lives while I'm free to go on living mine how I want to. That is a really great way of looking at it. Of man, they're so stuck on this former drama, these lies. They're stuck on this. And for whatever reason, can't let it go. It reminds me, I know I've told this story, but it's one of my favorite allegories. I know we've told this story before, but it reminds me of the monk who, there's 2 monks that are walking together, right? And they get to this river and there's an old lady who can't cross the river. And the one monk picks up the old lady and carries her across. Now that breaks their code because monks aren't supposed to touch women. And he picks her up, carries her across, sets her down, and they keep walking. And they walk in silence for a long time. And several hours later, the other monk that didn't carry the woman says, I can't believe you broke your vow and you carried that woman across the river. What were you thinking? And is just tearing him apart and freaking out about it. And the other monk says, I put the old lady down hours ago. Why are you still carrying her? And that's what that makes me think of. Like, why are they still carrying this? And you're absolutely right. It's on them. They're having the tough times. But yeah, there's no sense in fighting against people like that because, as you said, they already have their minds made up of what they want to believe. There's no sense in fighting people online. They believe what they're going to believe. And all you're doing is wasting your energy and giving away your peace. So big snaps to you for keeping your peace. Yeah, David says, I think people will keep arguing a point because to not do so would be admitting they were wrong. Some people just can't admit being wrong no matter what. Exactly. Dennis Roy says, I went camping. It sounds corny, not corny at all, but I'm my own worst enemy and I let it all go away. Just me and nature for a full week. It made me realize the truth. Nature versus nurture is the true problem. It just so happens that nature helped fix my nurture. I think that this is a really interesting perspective for several reasons. I think that, you know, the old saying that they're always questioning whether nature or nurture is what shapes us, right? Like what shapes our personalities, what really there's like the literal nature, the outdoors and stuff, you know. But I think there's also what's the best way to put it? I think they're saying that their environment growing up, like that nurture, may have harmed or shaped them in unhelpful ways. And the connection to the natural world, to the natural self, that helped them unlearn or heal from that damage. So nature might not always be the best thing for some of us. And the nurture can be a very big problem for individuals who didn't have any, who were deprived of that. Like the nurture being the environment that they grew up in might not have been what was best for them. So I can completely understand where they're coming from on this. But yeah, I think that the nature helped me fix my nurture. I think that there's the literal nature that helped heal the damage done by the upbringing. There's the genetic natural disposition. So the inherent traits, you know, helped them overcome what they were conditioned to believe was true. I think there's the philosophical view of, you know, like universal truths that are found in nature showing up as something deeper than what society or upbringing taught them. So I think there's a lot to unpack there, but I think overall that's just a really, really good place to see what each did for you, because I think they're both very important, you know, and I think they both shape us in our own ways. Sometimes one can be the problem more so for some than others. I don't think it's a split for anyone. I think it's different for everyone. Kelsey says nurture is so much more important than a lot of research would like to realize. Agreed. Yeah, I do think that there's the very basis of it that nature versus nurture. You have nature, which is our biology and stuff, you know, and then nurture, which is the environment that we're in, how we're raised and everything. And a lot of people like to say, no, nature itself kind of creates us. And that's not true. It only accounts for so much. I want to say it's like 40%. It only accounts for so much. And the rest of it is based on our experiences, on how many skills we learn, how we're treated, on who we surround ourselves with as adults, on whether or not we try to, you know, heal and manage that trauma as we get older. There's a lot of factors there. Oh, David says, I still remember a saying from my grandmother, different doesn't equal wrong. Exactly. Here I am dropping wins. Big snaps to you. It's not corny at all. Ashley Carper says, Ashley, are you in here? I don't think I've seen you. I'm going to wind up having to pee in about 10 seconds. And, Ashley Carper says, I actually admitted that I wasn't okay. Excellent. When I felt all alone, all I had to do was look at my mini brain and remember there are some people who do love me, and I stayed another day. Absolutely true. There's always people that will see your value, even if you don't have those people in your lives right now. There's always people that will see your value. No matter how many people haven't seen it, like, believe me, I've had so many people not see my value. But there are always people who will, and people who will love you exactly as you are. And I'm glad that you have those people, that you see those people, that they're part of your world, that you are making sure they're part of your world. And big snaps to you for staying another day and for surrounding yourself with people that do care and do love you and saying screw it to the rest of them. Let me do a quick check here. So we're at 105 out of our 250 goal. Denise says, really, my only win is I'm breathing. Well, that's the important win, because with that, you couldn't be doing anything else. So that's the baseline. That's where you need to be to start building on that. So breathing's the foundation. So excellent to you for having that foundation. David says, what about people that put cheese on apple pie? Are they aliens? What? Is that a thing? Ugh. They're either aliens or they're stoners, one or the other. The Wolfman says, as of today, July 16th, I'm finally back doing the job I love. I was on light duty after my knee surgery. So happy. I bet that feels really good to be back, feeling like you're completely back in the game after big surgery, after some things held you back. So I'm really happy for you. Big snaps for that. Whoa, Bill says, hey, coming from Korea. Hello. Kyle says, please give some snaps to Oakley. Pretty, because that is my way of thanking her for being there for me as a facilitator for the convention in the month of June. What convention? Did I miss a message? I think I missed a message. Can you give a little more insight on what convention? And I would be happy to share some snaps. Valley CSS says, finally, after many, many years, picked up the courage to confront my abuser. Wow, who messed up my entire childhood, teens, and adolescence. My therapist and doctors told me I was holding too much back and needed to finally get it out of my system and confront them if I wanted to ever let go of all these negative emotions and trauma. I finally decided to listen, and things are a lot better now. I'd call that a W. I'd call that a huge W. Big snaps to you. I know that is not easy. I confronted one of my bullies that really messed up my adolescence. So I'm really proud of you. I know that that's very difficult, but it is a huge step, whether we write it out or whether we confront them directly or maybe message them, whatever the case is. It's so huge to be able to get that off our chest. So big snaps to you for getting that out of your head. Sometimes my snappers get quiet. Kelsey says, I love your mindset and encouragement. There's no rock bottom, only ways to go up. Exactly. Okay. Scott H says, I started to draw. I'm not good, but I'm doing it for me. Right now I'm making very shaky lines, misshapen circles, squares, and triangles, but it's better than what I was doing last week. Absolutely it is. And one step forward is a step in the right direction. We don't need to be good at everything. That's a huge misconception, that any hobby we take up has to be, we have to have these goals, or we have to aspire to be something amazing. And we don't. If you just like writing or drawing or singing or whatever the case is, do you enjoy it? Great. That's all that matters. It doesn't matter if you're good at it. It doesn't matter if other people enjoy looking at it or hearing it, or whatever the case is. What matters is that you recognize that it's good for you. It's making you happy, and that is a huge win. And being able to just look past those other people, being able to just ignore all that nonsense and do what makes you happy. So kudos to you. Dan Lee says, I started going to therapy. I thought I was okay. Did the 40 test, scored 87, did not realize I was that distressed. It's really interesting that sometimes, especially when we're in survival mode, especially when we've been through so much and our baseline shifts, that we might not even realize, because it becomes our normal, like the distress, the anxiety, the darkness becomes our normal and we might not realize. And that's why these tests, I think, were designed, is to show us that, like, to give us kind of an overview of what is this shirt? I swear to God, like, there are hairs in my shirt that are driving me nuts. It can give us insight to like a bird's eye view of, okay, these categories really aren't standard. Now, I don't want to say that everyone has to show up in the same way or that we all have to meet some kind of criteria to be normal or to be happy or healthy. But I do think that it can be valuable to take these tests and see, are there some areas I'm struggling in, or are things darker objectively than I thought they were? So I'm glad that you did that you started therapy. Good for you. And that you are taking that seriously to reflect, why was I not realizing this? So big snaps to you. Yeah, David, there's no such thing as normal. Normal's nonsense. Oop, little shorty. Gabriel Loria says, I practice self-care by watching a sitcom I enjoy. Love it. That's why I watch my soap opera. People can make fun of me to the high heavens. Like, I just don't care. It's predictable. It's a safe place for me. Sometimes I can look at it and say, you know what, at least my life isn't that. At least my life isn't that crazy, though I have had some situations in my life that have mirrored my soap opera, and that's scary. Like having a sibling that I didn't know about, or a half sibling I didn't know about till my adult years. But I love that you're just taking time for yourself, doing something that is self-care. Just doing something you enjoy is absolutely self-care. And just being able to enjoy it and not feel like you need to be productive all the time. So snaps to you. Warrior Poet says, I'm going to try to create a win. Yes! Whether it'll pan out remains to be seen. And a lot of it depends on my dad's ability to get through this. Might be going on another sabbatical of sorts. First one was my visit with my boy. This one's more involuntary and not good news in nature. Then again, a change in scenery might not be a bad thing. Absolutely. Way to look on the right side of things. It's temporary, a maintenance issue for all 8 apartments in this breezeway. Long story short, everyone has to relocate for a week, but maybe unplugging might be good for my psyche. Yeah, absolutely. Again, if my dad doesn't fall apart through this, he's scared to death of change of any kind. That's understandable, but sometimes you have to adapt because life is not static. I hope that you guys can be there for each other and you can help him through this, because I actually get a lot of anxiety around change. So I very much understand where your dad's coming from. And I think he probably just needs some support getting through this and seeing that it can be good, because comfort is the enemy to growth, right? You can't grow if you're constantly in your comfort zone. So I think that it might be a really good, like you said, opportunity for you both to unplug and just spend some time together and let things play out, because you're right, life isn't static. And I'm really happy and proud of you that you've grown to this point that you can see that. So big snaps to you. We have about 10 minutes left, and we're at 105 out of 250. So let's see if we can still meet that 250 pledge. If we're on a roll, I'll definitely stay a little bit longer. RX Doc says, I will have been married for 30 years come this November. Wow, the last 10 to 15 of them have been pretty bad. My depression caused me to withdraw. Now I feel unwelcome in my own home. I finally decided to change something. I'm moving out on August 1st. Hopefully the first step toward healing. Well, first and foremost, I'm sorry that things went that way, that you fell into that dark place, that you withdrew, that you didn't get the support you needed during that time, that your family didn't show up in the way that you needed them to. But I am proud of you for realizing that you need to change and moving on, doing what you need to do for your journey, for your healing, even though, as I said earlier, that's not easy. That's not what we want to have happen, especially after so long. But sometimes, unfortunately, letting go is the best thing to do. And I'm very proud of you for seeing that. I'm not sure what AZYLF is. I'm not familiar with that. Can you tell me more about it? Oh, Sam says, my nurture environment as a child was very chaotic, full of mental and physical abuse. I'm working on through therapy. Just finished my second therapy session. Snaps to you for that. I just realized, so Erin and I have been using this at the end of the day, just as a way to kind of build up our own spirits, because postpartum has been hitting us quite hard, and we're really struggling to see our own strengths, to see our own wins. So we've been doing this for each other. At the end of the day, so the rest of the ones in there were ones that we were sharing with each other. So that is all of the wins for the community. Feel free to share more here in the comments, and I will do my best to read them, or use the super chat, super sticker function to highlight them. But I will put this over here so I can keep keeping track as we get more pledges and donations. Man, I really hope we hit our goal again, because we did it last time, and I'm just kind of hoping to keep that streak. I'm a streak fanatic. Let's see where my Duolingo streak is as of today. We are at 2,831 days as soon as I get this in. Yeah, so I'm big on streaks. You can't make me lose my streak, guys. Help me out. Oh gosh, okay. So Bryson starts high school tomorrow, and they'd given him a schedule that one of the classes they had put him in required a prereq that he didn't have. So they're having to redo his schedule. So I just got a text about his schedule. Oh, Mark, thank you so much. Where did my pen? I just put my marker up here and immediately forgot about it. So we're at 125. So we're halfway, guys. We are halfway. Let's do this. Let's bring it home. Message to Big for super chat. Can you read my post? Yes. Oh no. Can I read your post? Okay, sorry, I misunderstood. Did you post this somewhere? Mark Jameson. Mark. I am not seeing it. If you email it to me, I can read it out loud, but I'm not seeing it here in the chat. David, can you drop my email address? It's pixieyogi@yahoo.com. If you email it to me, I will make sure to read that. Oh, Jason, thank you. Then Jason drops another 50 in here. Thank you. So 175. Seriously, thank you so much. Let me click back. Mark, I'm looking at my email, so if you email that to me, I will make sure to read that. That double notifies me. I love, Jason, that you're putting little flowers, different flowers with your pledges here. Who used the wrong there? Oh, there is fear in letting go. Yeah. I'd be interested in hearing that one. I need to go back to I Prevail and Citizen Soldier. Citizen Soldier is on my radar too. T. Montgomery says, not sure if this is a win, but my therapist is helping me find resources to get out of the DV living situation I'm stuck in. That's a huge win. Yeah, absolutely. And if I can help in any way with resources and stuff, please let me know. I'm going to nervously apply lip gloss right now because it's what I do. Mark says I'll email to you. Okay, I'll watch out for it. I'm curious what ZYLF convention. Actually, I'm going to Google this because I think there might be a lag. I can't find anything on this. I see ZULF, but I don't think that's it. So I'll wait for your description. It's crazy because I remember hitting the first year of the anniversary of Chester's passing, and I ended up going up to the mountains and just kind of chilling up there and listening to Linkin Park and stuff with a few friends that really also resonated with the band, and then a couple people who'd never really listened to them. So it was awesome to get to introduce them. But I remember I remember that first year, I was such a hot mess. And I was thinking, how on earth am I going to make it to 5 years? Because it happened in 2017. So it happened July of 2017. And in October of 2018 is when I almost lost my battle, which if you guys are new to the community, if you watch my crawling reaction, I talk more about my story and my experience with Lincoln Park and how they saved me and everything. But I remember I spiraled really hard after Chester, and I was heavy into addiction and self-harming and stuff. And I stopped. I did manage to go into recovery for both those things. And that was June of 2018. But here's the thing. June of 2018, when I went into recovery, I started actually kind of going further down because I didn't deal with the why I was doing these things in the first place. So then I just started sliding further and further down. And then October was when I almost lost my life, when I was in that Canadian hotel room and was ready to jump and everything. It was several months later because I didn't deal with those things. But now I'm sitting here 8 years later, and it was wild to me. And all the times I've listened to One More Light, because like I said in my reaction, I listen to it when I lose somebody. It's my go-to grief song. And all the times I have sobbed uncontrollably to that song. And then today I'm listening to it and I'm going, I'm kind of strangely mostly okay. It was still emotional thinking about Chester for sure, but I was like, whoa, I'm kind of okay. And that was even more crazy with all of the postpartum and everything going on. I did not see that coming. I sat down fully expecting to be a white hot freaking mess. So it was pretty crazy that I didn't really lose it more than what I did in the video. David says it's been over 30 years and I still remember Kurt's death. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a part of me forever. It's always going to be this loss of support, and it is kind of hard. It is hard when that person that you sought for healing, for comfort and everything, when they're gone, it's very, very hard to move past that in any way, but I'm proud of myself. I actually just got an email or a text message from Chester's son a couple days ago, checking in and everything after the baby. And his son actually was the person who gifted Aurora's changing table. So she has chessons in her nursery, which is my term for Chester's essence. So she's chessons in her nursery. Oh, okay, here we go. I just got the email from Mark. Any advice for someone trying to give up pain pills? Tried to go cold turkey around Christmas, didn't go very well, vomiting and going to the toilet for nearly 2 weeks, lost appetite, couldn't eat, went from 13 to 11 stone, couldn't work, didn't sleep for 3 days straight. Wow, this is miserable. Even though I was exhausted. I know that feeling of insomnia. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. It's literal torture. I was going to end up in the hospital, so I did the only thing I knew would help, started taking pills again. Now I'm back to where I started, but taking more than ever. Started taking them when I hurt my shoulder and knee when I was a mechanic and needed them to keep working, but now I need them to function. Going cold turkey from opioids without medical supervision can be very dangerous. I just want to say that. I want to acknowledge that that's not in your head and that's not you being weak or anything like that, especially with the severity of your symptoms like the vomiting and the sleeplessness and rapid weight loss and stuff. I think a medically supervised tapering off or detox is what I would suggest. That would be safer. I think that would be more successful. You're not weak for needing help. Let me say that. You're very, very wise for realizing that this needs to be handled carefully, like for catching that, for saying, wow, these symptoms are not okay. I'm not going to be okay here. So that was really wise. That was really smart on your behalf. I think that you should talk to an addiction specialist, not just a doctor, but an addiction specialist. Even if you're afraid of being judged, if you're afraid of getting in trouble, finding a professional that's trained to help and can help in that specific thing. You can be honest about your situation because they've seen it so many times before. It's not going to be a big deal to them, and they can help you create a tapering plan. They can prescribe medications and stuff like naloxone, I wouldn't say methadone. Methadone is one, but it reduces cravings, it reduces withdrawal, but that one can have some side effects of its own. Suboxone, there's a lot of different medications that can help with that, and can help you get in a detox outpatient programs and stuff. Support is the key here. Like, support is really the key when it comes to detoxing. So I'm really glad, thank you for asking this, because I think this is something that a lot of people can relate to. You can't fight addiction alone forever. You do need support, and whether that's online communities like here, showing up here, committing to coming here to the live stream every 2 weeks. You can go to Reddit communities. I know there's a subreddit for opiates recovery. I don't know if it's called opioids or opiates, or it's some kind of opiate recovery if you're not ready for in-person support groups and stuff. But I think that addressing the pain and the function piece, because you originally took them for your shoulder and knee, totally valid, obviously. And those issues still might need care. So I think looking into physiotherapy and pain clinics that specialize in chronic pain without relying on opioids would be really important. Non-opioid medications, like, let's see, lidocaine patches, anti-inflammatories. I don't know if you've tried these things. Acupuncture can be really effective for some people, things like that. And then having a plan for withdrawal, because withdrawal happens to all of us. I myself was an addict. It wasn't pain pills, though I did struggle with those. But this is one thing that people don't think about when you're going for withdrawal: hydration. Hydration is huge, and that was hard for me because dehydration will make everything freaking worse during the withdrawal phase, because the headaches, the nausea, all that will become so much worse. So make sure you are staying hydrated with electrolytes and stuff. Stock up on really easy to digest food, soup, rice, applesauce, things like that. Things that are really easy to digest, because that's going to help. And trying to think if there's anything else I would suggest. Try non-habit forming things like melatonin, Benadryl, Tylenol, things like that. See what you can do there. So I know that was kind of a roundabout, not roundabout, that was a very, very long answer. But as someone who's gone through that and didn't exactly find a lot of the traditional things helpful, I tried much harder to go a route that I felt was helpful, because for me, I know a lot of people get a lot of help from the 12-step programs and stuff. We're going to stay a little bit longer because we're like $75 away from our goal. Okay. So I don't want to leave if we can possibly hit that. And I want to finish what I was saying. So, for me, the 12-step program I knew wasn't going to work for a couple of reasons. One is because I know this might be a spicy opinion, but I don't believe in relinquishing control when it comes to things like this. I know that in some ways we are helpless, but if I would have said, I am helpless, I have no control over this, then it would have just given me an excuse to relapse. So for me personally, that wasn't going to work. And number two, if I was in that kind of group, in that kind of setting, I know everyone there knew where to get it. So I didn't want to be surrounded by people that knew where to get it and that were at high risk for wanting to do it again. So for me, that just didn't work. I had to find other ways. And it was actually ironically meeting Mike Shinoda that really inspired me to go into recovery. So the day before I met him was the last day that I used. So finding that and having that, that kind of why, that motivation, because I was sitting there, it was interesting because I was sitting there and I was thinking, man, I'm sitting here hashtagging like make Chester proud, because it was a few months after Chester passed. Or no, I'm sorry. It was a little under a year after Chester passed that I met him. It was in 2018. It was in June of 2018. And I was sitting there going, man, I was so big on hashtagging make Chester proud and talking so much about what Lincoln Park had done for me, to then be doing the same things that had led to his downfall. Like, what? So I just realized how hypocritical I was being, and meeting Mike was just this very empowering, magical moment for me that really helped me come out of that. So that was just my moment, my why. So I know that was a lot of information, but I hope there was something helpful in there. AZYLF is a convention that I was attending for the month of June. The convention was only 4 days, Monday through Thursday. My facilitator was Oakley Pretty. What is the convention for? That was what I was asking. Arizona Youth Leadership Forum. Okay, cool. That's the convention that I was attending this year for the month of June. My facilitator is Oakley Pretty, and I really enjoyed her so much. With snaps to you for going to this convention and for Oakley for being able to help you. So I'm sorry that I didn't know. I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't giving snaps and endorsing something, a convention that I might not think was appropriate. So yeah, absolutely. Big snaps to you and to Oakley. Bye, Spencer. I'll see you soon. Try and get some rest. Yeah, try to rest a little bit. I'm proud of you for showing up. David is saying that, and I'm proud of you, for showing up here today and making time for yourself. Mark is saying, my family thinks it's food poisoning. They don't know. That's the worst thing. What people will think of you after they know. When I started talking more openly about it, sure, there were people that judged me. I lost friends. I lost support. But at the end of the day, there were people that came to me that were, oh my God, I'm so glad that you said something because I was going through this and I didn't know who to talk to. So while it closed some doors, it opened some others. So at the end of the day, I really feel like those who mind don't matter and those who matter don't mind. Ashley, you're totally okay. We're on the tail end here, but you're okay. You're lucky. We hadn't hit our goal. We're $75 short on our goal. So I'm trying to stay a few more minutes to see if we hit it. So you arrive precisely when you're meant to. David says it's a better day when Ashley Carper's here. Absolutely. It has been a crazy week. My week has been nuts. Like I said, back to back to back to back. And I have to go from here. I'm going to eat. And then I have several more dog drop-ins because that's my day job. I mean, I lost my actual day job, but this is what I've been trying to do to make money recently for everything. So I have a couple more dog clients. I have had a lot of dog clients this week or last couple weeks, really. Like this month, I've had a lot of drop-ins and stuff. So yeah, was it yesterday, day before? I had 10 in a day, 10 drop-ins. I had one at my house and then 10 drop-ins. So Ashley says I'll rewatch after we're done. Yeah, we have talked about so much. I'm trying to hold on. Oh, Ashley says I get excited for the lives and then forget. Oh my gosh. So I found a new app, and this is totally not, I'm not sponsored by them or anything, but I found this new app. It's called Structured, right? And it breaks down your day. This is amazing for me because I struggle with ADHD. It breaks down your day. So it's kind of like a schedule where you can say, okay, at 6 o'clock, I have this. At 6:30, I have this. So that's pretty typical. But you can check the things once you finish them. So it's a schedule. I need a schedule. I have to have a schedule. And Google Calendar doesn't really work for me. So this is amazing. And when you check it, you get the dopamine. So that is so unbelievably helpful to me to be able to keep up with my day. Otherwise, like I said, the other day I had 10 dog drop-ins, 2 medical appointments, because I started doing TMS. I'm actually really excited to talk to you guys about that as I progress, but I started doing TMS to hopefully help with the postpartum and stuff, and I'm kind of thinking I'm feeling a small itty-bitty change. So yeah, that is an app that has really helped me. Ashley, I don't know if that would help you. It's called Structured. The app is pink with like a white check mark that has a kind of semicircle around it. So I highly suggest that. And it has a separate tab in it that you can use as a checklist. I'm a list person. I have to have lists. I have to have schedules. Everything has to be planned out. Checking off a list is so Amanda. It is. I have to have my checklist. I have to have order, because otherwise I'll forget everything. And I actually did almost forget drop in earlier this week. So I'm really glad that I didn't. So yes. T. Montgomery says, maybe if Amanda wore a hamster suit and did the hamster dance, she would get her goal. I don't have a hamster suit. I would if I could. I don't know the hamster dance, though. I just remember the dee-da-do-do-do-do-do-do, dee-do-do-do-do. Oh, the great hamster in the sky, David. He's being worshipped well today. Worshipped very well. We're so close. We're so close. Ashley says I needed to laugh. What else am I here for, guys? What else am I here for? I smell food, so I think we're running out of time. May his holy bottle dribble upon you. I can't think of, like, what can you do instead of a Hail Mary for the great hamster in the sky? Yeah, I smell food, so I know that we're down to the wire here. Man, my hair looks good today. I'm digging it. My hair and makeup are on point today. No worry, Dan Glam. The Sam friends to wolves. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh, we hit it! Yes, we hit it! Jason did 75, and then Sam did 50 at the exact same time, I think. Yay! I'm so happy. So we actually hit, I think, 300? Yes, we hit 300. We hit our goal. Yay! Name dance. We had to dance. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Samuel and Jason. I get so happy because now we can do more in the community. His great hamster ball rolls across the sky, pulling the sun. You're a goofball. Jim Rub Day is saying, I just bought a camper driving it home. All I think is Walter White. Oh my gosh! Mark just donated. We're at 350. Oh my gosh, guys. This is going to really allow us to do a lot. You get Nanda squeals today. See, like we were so close and we almost gave up. I could have just said, oh, I'm gonna log off, but we did it. We hit it. I love it. I just realized. Hang on. Whoa, I just heard myself squealing from downstairs. So apparently there is a little bit of a delay. I just heard myself. Oh gosh, David, don't remind me of that. I've been doing this dog stay that is right by a little lake area, and I was sitting outside like enjoying the lake area, and this older gentleman walks outside in his little tiny whitey underwear, like Walter White underwear, and I'm just going, get a place with a view, they said. It'll be relaxing, they said. Yes. Hang on. Hello, Donald. The donuts should cure the postpartum. Not quite cure, but definitely help. Because it, like I said earlier, when I can help others, I feel free. I feel better. And while it might not fix or cure everything, it's definitely helping. It definitely filled my bucket today. It's filling my bucket today. The streak is alive. Rains his snaps to everyone. Big snaps. Is food ready? I'm kind of hungry, actually. Anybody that knows me knows that if it is 5 o'clock and there is not food in my belly, I could just go full on succubus mode. So it's 5:12 and I'm glad that's not happening. It's because of your donations, guys. It's because of your donations that I haven't burned the house down. The food is already at 5 o'clock. What's for dinner? I don't know. What's for dinner? Bryson? Aaron? Do we get to see Aurora one more time? Why is your Patreon link not highlighted? You can do that? I didn't even know you could do that. Guys, I'm a pleb when it comes to things like that. So actually, yeah, I have a goal. I've been wanting to get Patreon back up. I'm going to post my Patreon link here. It's an excellent way to support the community. I was pretty heartbroken because I lost literally like half my Patreons when it took a month for maternity leave. I'm going... Gosh, I took a month for myself after giving birth and lost half my Patreons. Giving birth to this...
He's a bit wet.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, she's always a bit wet.
She just woke up.
I'm literally always covered in something these days. But
Dinner's ready.
yes, okay, thank you. Dinner's ready, huh?
She wanted to tell you. you wanted to tell me?
Save Liam. David says save Liam. Indeed, save Liam.
I hope Liam dies.
Get out.
I'm joking.
You're ruining my mental health here. You're ruining all my wins, Bryson. I'm just kidding. I love you guys. I love her so much.
Well, they need to kill off one
I
main
love
character.
her, but it can't be Liam because
It should
Liam's
be
my
Brooke.
happy place. Liam's my happy place, and you're my happy place, and I love you. Thank you so much. Say hello. Say hello.
Okay, you can see her when dinner's when you come
Yes,
back
baby.
for dinner. We're not gonna tell you yet.
I'll be down in just a few minutes. Can you close the door?
Goodbye.
Give me literally like 5 minutes. But they're asking. They wanted to know. Yeah, I have just accepted.
McDonald's.
Oh, yay! McDonald's! McDonald's are the vegan version of Big Macs, so I'm pretty happy. That's exciting. Donald says 1 year and 7 months, no alcohol. I'm winning my life back. Yes, you are, sir. Yes, you are. I don't even know where we were. I'm just so happy now. I'm so happy. We were talking about Patreon. So yeah, I lost half of my Patreons, and I'm not gonna lie, it really broke my heart. Because we were building a good community. We have video live streams for the higher tier Patreons. So we do like Zoom calls once a month. I'm gonna go back to playing games. So we're just gonna do not games like video games, but like Pictionary, stuff like that, and just have fun. But we just hang out and have fun once a month. Priority song requests. There's a lot of perks to Patreon. But yeah, I was so unbelievably devastated. And I do have a goal to get that back up. So right now there's 28, and I was hoping to get back up to 50 by the fall. So yes, I would really, really appreciate, apparently someone was considering, Tram 51 was considering, jumping over there. So yes, I would super appreciate the support, and I love having the live chats, because this is a stream, but over there we all get to see each other on Zoom, unless of course you want to turn your camera off, but we all get to see each other and hang out, and it's a little bit more personable. I am flying high now. Oh, David says, careful, B, there isn't much room in the dungeon with me. Yeah, you guys will have to fight. They can't take out Liam. They can't take out Liam. I will freak out, guys. I will be here on a live stream, like bawling my eyes out, because it's just my escape. Like, my soap opera is my escape. So I would absolutely lose my mind. Okay, so they're yelling at me for dinner. Guys, if you're watching this at a later time, and you want to pledge toward the outreach, I always put the ways to do so in the description, with PayPal and Venmo and stuff. Supporting the Patreon is also, of course, an amazing, amazing way to help the community. I'm actually going to be making a video here shortly about some of the outreach projects and stuff. So I'm so happy. Like, I'm just seriously on such a high now. Thank you guys so much. I needed this today. I'm definitely going to go on my gratitude list for tonight. But thank you to everyone who showed up, who showed their wins. I really hope that we're making Chester proud. You know, today, that's been on my mind a lot, of how can we honor this energy. And you know what? We're doing it. So thank you. I'm going to go eat before I rip someone's head off, because I'm hangry. But Donald says, stay positive, see the good, learn from the rest. Love it. That's a great mantra to live by. I will see you guys in 2 weeks, or actually, I think, what's today? Our next Patreon call is coming Saturday. So our next Zoom call is this coming Saturday, where we all hang out for a couple of hours. So that's also an option. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in a couple weeks, or on the next reaction of the next video. I love you guys so much, and thank you for being here for me today. It's usually such a heavy day, so I'm happy that we were able to turn that around. I forgot Patreon also has exclusive reactions. So there's reactions that I don't post here on the channel that I post exclusively to Patreon. So that's another perk. I just happened to catch that out of my peripheral. But I love you guys so much, and I will see you soon. Thank you.